everyone, my name is Sydney and today I'm going to be discussing Treasure Yourself by Miranda Kerr, and this book is an oldie but a goodie. So I received this from one of my high school friends when I was in high school, and it's really interesting to me because I really think that you are called to read a book at different points in your life. I've always wanted to read this book but never felt ready to, if that makes sense. I never felt like it was my time to pick it up until now. This book was so beautiful. It really allowed me to reflect on myself, come back to the self, to understand the importance of self-empowerment and looking after yourself, putting yourself as top priority. So within this book there were different chapters that covered different topics, for example jealousy or defeating challenges, becoming confident in yourself. There was a section at the end of this book that involved affirmations that you can use to better yourself. And if I'm honest, I like to read a book from beginning to end. I'm not a person who usually has a book in hand and just flips through and that's kind of the page that I land on that I read, if that makes sense. A lot of people do that with affirmations, which is a beautiful thing, but I personally, I kind of hate doing that because I feel like I'm a very ordered person and I need to read it from beginning to end, or else I'm gonna be like, I don't know how to explain that. But yeah, so I kind of read the affirmations, each one after each other, but it was so beautiful because I really felt them working for me. So there was a massive amount of creative energy that just came out of nowhere, came into my mind, came into my life, and all these things started manifesting. All these things started coming into my life. For example, more modeling opportunities, more dancing opportunities. After reading this book and having read all these affirmations that enforce this creative flow, I could see myself starting to receive so much. So within this month of May, I have never felt so busy in my life. I have never felt such a rush and such a urge to create. So I'm gonna go into the spoilery section of this video. So if you'd like to stay, feel free to, or you can go read it, come back, and then we can talk. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the introduction of this book is beautiful. It is not that we don't have the strength within us. We have more strength than we could possibly imagine. Most of us fail to see it within ourselves, yet so willingly see it in others. What if we nurtured ourselves to the point where we discovered and experienced our own greatness? What if we finally realized that we are limited only by our thoughts and by what we think is or isn't possible for us? After all, that is the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. It is our thoughts that determine our experiences, not only of ourselves, but of our world and of others. Too often we fail to see that at any given moment we have a choice to alter our lives, our existence. Too often we are driven automatically by who we think we are or should be, as opposed to who we possibly could be. Sometimes we choose to be angry, ungrateful, resentful, and jealous, when instead we have the ability to choose to be accepting, forgiving, and grateful for all that we have. Choose with goodness in your heart to be brave, courageous, and adventurous in this world, and acknowledge all who are being just that, for they have overcome what many have yet to overcome: the fear of knowing who they really are. Look forward and dream of what's possible for your life, and remember that the only thing limiting you is your thoughts. Only you have the power to change your thoughts. Alter your thoughts and you alter your world. So this is really beautiful to me because I picked this book up for a reason. I needed guidance back to myself because I personally was going through a bit of a rough patch of a few different things that I don't really want to go into depth about, but it really affected like my self-worth, which is so stupid. And I hate when I personally go into this sense of feeling like I'm not worthy. I think we're all worthy and we're all meant to be here. So when I kind of contradict myself and feel like I'm not worthy, or I want to cry, or I feel upset about something, it upsets me because I don't want to be feeling that way. I want to be happy all the time, but of course we can't be happy all the time because we're experiencing life, and life involves ups and downs. You're going to have experiences of suffering. You're going to have experiences of feeling at your ultimate high, and that's literally just life. When we experience the bad, I think we kind of have to really go into the acceptance of what is happening here to grow back up, to rise back up. So yeah, there was a real big reason why I picked up this book, and it honestly really, really helped. I would read from this book every morning on my way to work, and just reading such positive words really affected my mood. So if you're ever feeling down, if you're ever feeling negative, if you're ever feeling upset about something, I think it's important to have a book like this one, or to have this one by your side where you can pick it up, just reread over something that made you feel good and feel good again. Because feeling worthless or feeling angry at the world because something didn't go the way you wanted it to, or whatever the reason may be, it sucks, and it can really put you in a place of finding it really difficult to come back up. I'm extremely grateful for this book because it did really help, but I'll be honest in saying that this is a wave, this is a ride, and I guess there will be moments of coming in and out of feeling those sense of feeling down, stuck in the soil, and then feeling all the way up, I think that's completely normal. But I also want to share this space. I want to share this space to be, I want to hold this space to be a space of honoring these emotions that we have, to be able to have these emotions and not shy away from them, because they're real emotions that we all feel. You're not alone. You never were and you never will be. So on page 4, Miranda went into a story of discussing how her first love passed away. Change is inevitable, though it can be painful. Summer becomes autumn and winter turns to spring. Life has a rhythm. And this is just so true, because I think the biggest thing of before reading this book, what I was struggling with was a sense of change. You have this reminder of change is inevitable. Change is constantly occurring. We're constantly growing, constantly learning. To have this reminder was important for me, because I was such on a catalyst for change, and I was struggling with it. I was finding it really hard to accept, or I was on and off with accepting it and then not, and accepting it and then not. Chris's death taught me that the people who touch your life are always with you. It taught me that I have the choice to be grateful for the time I had with him instead of dwelling on losing him. And it made me realize that life is so fragile that we need to really live and appreciate every moment. It also taught me that no one can heal your pain but yourself. And through the power of gratitude and acceptance, I was able to move forward. I now say to myself, I trust the process of life to remind me that even in the darkest hours, there is still light and possibility. I love this because for my situation, I was really able to reflect what she wrote to me. And it really helped. We really need to live and appreciate every moment, to accept and learn from every experience, to not be living through a world of hate, to be living through a world of love. It's all about treasuring who you are as a person and accepting, respecting, and honoring yourself. So acceptance, respecting, and honoring have been 3 things that I've been really trying to focus on, especially acceptance and especially honoring my truth. Those have been the 2 things that I've been really focusing on, which has been really beautiful when I go into very deep conversations with some friends, talking about how it's very important to be reflecting back on your passions, why you're here, what you want to be doing, which is the honoring your truth, not being afraid to speak up and talk to someone about what you're feeling deep inside. And it was funny because it brings up the topic of the notion of saying too much. What is too much? There is never too much love in this world. Never too much. The fact that we go into that mindset kind of boggles my mind. I think we shouldn't be afraid to be vulnerable. We shouldn't be afraid to speak up, because things need to be heard and we need to communicate how we're feeling, or else we're never going to know what's happening in another person's mindset, or never going to know how we're actually internally feeling. So personally writing it out in a journal or personally talking to people about what you're feeling is very, very healing. It's very healing. So yeah, honoring your truth and acceptance of things that have happened in the past, like allowing them to be what they are, to allow them to be what they were, and letting it go. So this is another beautiful thing on page 9. It's like a beautiful reflection. What you see in yourself is what you see in everyone else around you. And that in itself was a massive topic that we discussed in India, talking about how once you realize that everyone is a reflection of you in different bursts or exactly the same as you, your life will change. She then goes to say, when you see yourself as a unique individual and understand that you are truly irreplaceable and that everyone is different and special just the way they are, you get the opportunity to really accept who you are and fully embrace yourself. That's when the magic of the universe radiates within us, and automatically, without us even knowing, our inner joy, enthusiasm, and happiness is transferred onto others. One of the most important things I've realized is that we can all choose how to live our lives, no matter what the circumstances. All these quotes that I'm talking about from this book are what have helped me whenever I'm in a rough patch. So this is on page 12. Life happens in cycles. Most challenging moments in your life will pass and a new phase of adventure will emerge. The first part of change is generally the most confronting. More often than not, we don't expect it, and that's when our sense of self gets tested. Couldn't be more freaking true. Then she says, when I am faced with troubles and filled with doubt, I am grateful for the strength it inspires within me. When nothing seems to go the way I want, I strive to maintain my composure and be grateful for the experience. When I let myself experience the feelings that I have, the discomfort passes faster than if I tried to push the feelings away. When I have truly experienced these feelings, my good sense and my inner wisdom then have the opportunity to guide my words and actions rather than tension overwhelming me. And this is exactly the place I wanted to be in, because when there was this time of change occurring, I found it really hard to go into that place of being grateful for it, because I didn't want to acknowledge going into a new phase of my life. Alright, so moving on, this is on page 58, and I bloody highlighted the whole page. So, this is about jealousy, and this is something that I kind of This is an emotion, a feeling that I sometimes get. I don't think jealousy is nice to experience. And I'm really learning to not be that person, which is, it's been a fun ride because I do think I'm getting to a place of not being a jealous person. And it's all about control of the mind, control of the self. Like everybody, I too have had my bouts of jealousy throughout my life. Once when my boyfriend at the time told me he preferred blondes, I literally took that to heart, and every time I saw him talking to a blonde, I got really jealous and upset. This concerned me as I didn't want to be jealous, so I took a look within. I saw that I wasn't being powerful in how I was reacting. I realized that if he wanted to be with a blonde, he would be with a blonde, but he chose me. I decided to trust and appreciate our relationship and my own uniqueness. Practicing yoga and meditation, which helps create balance internally, gives me a sense of happiness within myself. Now, if I ever feel a twinge of jealousy, I take a deep breath and really be with those feelings. Once you accept those feelings and sit with them, I find they generally pass. And if that doesn't work, I put my thoughts and feelings on paper as openly and honestly as I can. This gives me the opportunity to see my thoughts in black and white, release whatever I was thinking about, and bring myself back into balance. I believe jealousy is all about negative power and attention. The core of jealousy is inadequacy. Jealousy is present when our sense of self is put at risk. When we feel this emotion, it is akin to having an identity crisis, and it is a calling within us to better ourselves. I believe that all our emotions are there to show us who we really are, and jealousy is no exception. If you are truly comfortable in your own skin and confident in your abilities, you can transform jealousy into acceptance, which is exactly something that I have been trying to put my focus into acceptance. And I agree that, jealousy isn't a nice feeling. Like when you're in that mode, you don't want to be in that mode. But sometimes it can just happen, and it's because you've put your sense of self-worth down for some reason, from a situation you've been in or whatever it may be. Your sense of self has been affected, which is making you question your worth. I hate being jealous. Sometimes I can be a jealous person and I hate it. I don't like being a jealous person. But then when I come back to reminding myself that we are free, we are open individuals, we are individuals, we're experiencing life for ourselves. And whilst we can experience it together, we need to be able to experience it on our own. This reminder of freedom, we're all free, right? So there shouldn't be this sense of jealousy. And then she finishes it by saying, I allow people to be what they want to be. I accept and love others unconditionally. It is important to remind ourselves that we are all perfect exactly the way we are. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and we also have all the resources we need to improve ourselves. We have the responsibility to ourselves to discover what makes us distinctive and to further develop our talents. It doesn't help to wait for the approval of others to feel good. Work on accepting yourself as you are and become the best version of you that you can be. I love this on page 66 as well. Breakups are never easy, but they have given me some of my best life lessons. Once I have a chance to reflect, I can see how I have grown as a person and how it has inevitably made me stronger. I believe that every relationship comes into your life for a reason, and it is important not to compare them because they are always going to be different. It is a journey that you travel together, where you enjoy the experiences and love that you share. Relationships can really teach you a lot about yourself. It's important to reflect and focus on yourself and what you want before you get involved with someone else, though. Taking some time out and getting to know yourself is vital to ensuring you make better choices next time. The person you are today is because of the experiences that have occurred in your life. Take a moment to think about all your past relationships and the valuable lessons they have taught you. If anything, you should have a clearer knowledge of what you don't want. Don't look for someone else to complete you. Likewise, don't look for a partner who thinks he/she needs someone to complete them. We are all whole and complete, just as we are. Looking for happiness through someone else ultimately leads to disappointment, as only you can make you happy. And this is everything. Everything. I love this too. Everything in this book I love. On page 68, I've always thought that friends are the angels that are sent down to help you along your life's path. They bring encouragement, understanding, strength, fun, and laughter. And this mainly goes out to you, my girl. Norris, I love you, my best friend of 17 years now. I love her. Okay, so let's go into some affirmations that I really liked. I stand strong in my personal power. This is by Deepak Chopra, and this is about saying that I am a creative human being with unlimited potential, which is awesome because creativity was something I have been really manifesting into my life. A big one. This is by Don Miguel Ruiz. I have some book talks. I'll leave the links down below. Check them out. I don't make assumptions. Massive. I don't make assumptions. Deepak Chopra. I am patient. Sometimes. In this world that we live in, being patient is fucking hard. I express my creativity, also by Louise. I am creative. I express my creativity by allowing my imagination, talents, and abilities to flow. My creativity is the true expression of who I am. And that's manifested massively, that one. And two more special ones. Each day is a new opportunity, by Louise. And A Shift Happens When I Let Go, by Robert Holden. So yeah, I really loved this book. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I highly recommend this book if you ever need that kind of help. And just a good book to make you feel good. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!